Hi, morning. This is May the 28th. We made again a talk about the story of the pen. Okay, so in order to avoid a misperception, shall we begin? So first, please tell me what it is. This is the pen, right? We use this to write. So what will happen if I give this to a dog? It can chew it, right? Why? Because this is a chew toy. So this is a pen for men for us to write and a chew toy for a dog to chew. So who is right? Both are right, because we and us and the dog, we are different entities, and different entities can have different point of view, and this is very normal. So the first lessons of the story of the pen is to respect the point of view of others. And gonna move to the next lesson. So imagine this time I put this in an empty room where there's no man, no dog at all. So at this time, what we call this is nothing, right? Why? Because us and the man and us, for example, and the dog are not nearby. So the ancient intelligence tells this is the emptiness. The emptiness doesn't mean that this thing will disappear, but it's to say that it has illimited potentiality in a way that it can receive countless point of views. Okay, so we're gonna see the proof of this statement by following example. Remember this thing in an empty room, and it shows emptiness, right? So what will happen if tomorrow I open the door and let the man to come back and see this thing, and he will see it as a pen and uses to write, right? And if instead I don't invite the man, but instead I invite the dog to come back, and when it see it, it will chew it again because it's thinks it's a chew toy. And if I invite both the man and dog to come back in the room, and these two point of view will happen at the same time. If I do in a larger scale, for example, I invite 1,000, 1 million, and 1 billion people to come in a room. Imagine that it can fit the room, right? And there will be 1,000, 1 million, and 1 billion different point of view happen at the same time, right? So all of this want to say that everything is emptiness in the way that it has illimited potentiality, in the way that it can receive countless point of views. Okay, I'm gonna move to the third lesson, but before doing this, I used to have two questions. The first one, and by answering those two questions, we also arrive at the third lessons as well. The first question is that we say that can receive countless point of view from the observers, right? But before this, what is holding those countless point of views? So what can hold countless things? This is my question. So it was answered by this demonstration in my hand. This is a thing that I call a pen. The fact that this is a pen, it comes from my mind, or it comes from yourself. The fact that this is the pen, it comes from my mind. Why? Because if it comes from yourself, the dog will also see this as a pen as well, and use it to write, right? Okay, so I was persuaded because my mind, me is the observer in this case, and my mind is illimited enough to hold illimited point of views. The second question, before this, I see that it can receive the point of view from the pen, the dog, the man. But here, me, a single observer in this case, the question is, can it receive my countless point of view from a single observer as me in this case? So I'm gonna test this. I close my eye and I say that I want to change this thing from a pen to a diamond. 1, 2, 3, and open my eyes. And I still see this as a pen, right? Still right with this, so it's definitely a pen. I will not succeed. I am not successful to change this, so I want that I'm doing something wrong. But the ancient intelligence say that I do all things good enough so far, but the only thing that I'm lack of, which is the seed in my mind. The seed is what I do, think, and say, because when do, think, and say create an imprint in my mind, serving as a seed in my mind and growing at a certain point of a time, proper time, and cover an image on this thing. And if that image is a diamond, I will be successful to change the point of view from a pen to a diamond. This is the third lessons in proof. This is what you say that everything is come from our mind. or more concretely, it comes from what we do, think, see, and think. And the fourth lesson, which is the last one, is in this life we want to have something, we have to study seeding. So the story of the pen is finished with 4 lessons. The first one is we have to respect the point of view of others. The second one, everything has its emptiness in the way that it came. It has unlimited potentiality in the way that it can receive countless point of view. And the third lesson is everything has come from our mind, or more concretely, it comes from what we do, say, and think. And the fourth lesson is that if we want to have something in this life, we have to start seeding. Okay, so the story appear to be very simple, but in fact it's very deep. In order to understand deeper, much deeper, as soon as deeper as possible, I have to repeat it at least 3,000 times to please accept my gratitude for seeing you tomorrow, repeating this story again, helping us to understand more about the pen story. And thank you. See you until I see you. Bye.